I crave the kind indulgence of the National Assembly to grant me the slot of 10:00 hours on Wednesday, the 14th of December 2016, to formally address a joint session of the National Assembly on the 2017 budget proposal and our plans to get the country out of recession. Please extend, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest regards to the distinguished senators as I look forward to addressing the joint session. Signed, Muhammadu Buhari.
True to his words, President Muhammadu Buhari arrives with his team to the hallowed chamber of the National Assembly. It's a joint sitting of both legislative units to witness the presentation of the 2017 budget.
Distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria,
the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, kickstarts talks for the day, stating that this year's budget presentation has come in slightly earlier and the move well commended.
Mr. President, I wish to note that the National Assembly recognizes, however, that the problem with our budget and budgeting processes goes far deeper than the relative progress we have made. This is why in August this year, we inaugurated a joint executive and legislative committee and a technical committee to review our budget systems and identify ways we can make them more transparent, more participatory, more result-oriented, and therefore more effective. The committee has since submitted its report, and the National Assembly already started the process of implementing the recommendations. Already we have tried to bring the key highlights of the report into effect within 2016 framework. These include pre-budget consultation and engagement, greater information sharing and recording, public hearing on the public bill, and drafting of an organic public bill. And finally, the amendment of the Public Procurement Act. Our hope is that the remainder of the recommendations of this report will be implemented within the 2017 budget year with the passage of the Organic Budget Law. The Organic Budget Law will provide the legal framework for regulating the procedures that budget preparation, approval, implementation, and even accounting must follow. It will bring the budget and national planning regime within a clearly defined framework, thereby ensuring greater predictability, transparency, and efficiency. You will recall when the National Bureau of Statistics came out with the numbers to confirm that the Nigerian economy has slumped into recession. The National Assembly rose with one voice. Through a joint resolution, we recommended that Your Excellency make a State of the Nation address on the plan of government to get us out of recession, and 20 important executive actions, in our view, needed to be taken to get the economy back on track. The National Assembly on its part listed and prioritized 11 economic reform bills for passage. We intend to get these bills ready alongside the 2017 appropriation bill. We believe that these core elements of this bill will aid the executive in mobilizing the required private capital into the general economy.
Dr. Saraki declares that the introduction of the civil society public hearing on budget has so far opened up the budgetary space, thereby ensuring transparency and accountability in the implementation of the budget. He insists that the state of the nation's economy is in turmoil after the announcement that the country has slumped into recession. a situation that has left most Nigerians in hardship and abject poverty. Dr. Saraki calls for more collaboration between the executive and the legislature, while urging that scores be settled for the sake of the people.
In the thinking of the 8th National Assembly, our country can no longer rely on the public sector alone to spend us out of recession. It is therefore critical that we mainstream private sector business and investment in the economy. To achieve this, we must make it much easier and efficient for people to invest and do business in our country. Further to this, we are also aware that we must attract private investments to play a central role in our economic recovery efforts. We must make deliberate efforts to market Nigeria as an attractive brand through a very robust and highly coordinated process of engagements. This effort must necessarily start with injecting confidence in the market through clarity and consistency of policies. We must speak the right language and show that we're open and ready for business. The overarching purpose of a budget is essentially to ease the economic pressure on our people in general and the poor especially. The 2017 budget assumes even a greater significance, particularly in this time of recession. Mr. President, the feedback we get from our visits to our various constituencies is that there is hardship in the land. We can see it, we can feel it. This situation therefore commands all of us as government to a greater sense of urgency. We cannot work magic, but we must continue to work the clock. Our people must see that the singular preoccupation of government is the search for solution to the current economic hardship and the commitment to ease their burden. They don't want to know what political parties we belong, or the language we speak, or the God we worship. They have trusted their fates in our hands, and they need us now more than ever to justify that trust.
It's time for the main guest of the day to speak. He tags the budget proposal a budget of recovery and growth.
Of APC and PDP.
This is hoped to bring the economy out of recession and entrench prosperity.
Let me emphasize.
President Muhammadu Buhari is aware of the hardship in the land, but says he's convinced that Nigeria will get back on track as the hard period has opened up creative minds and less dependency on oil money, which price has slumped globally.
For the records, for many years, we depended on oil for foreign exchange revenues. In the days of high oil prices, we did not save. We squandered. We wasted our large foreign exchange reserves to import nearly everything we consume: our food, our clothing, our manufacturing inputs, our fuel, and much more. In the first 18 months, when we experienced low oil prices, we saw our foreign exchange earning cut by about 60%. Our reserves eroded and our consumption declined as we could not import to meet our needs. By importing everything, we provide jobs for young men and women in the countries that produce what we import, while our own young people wander around jobless. By preparing imported goods, we ensure steady jobs for the nationals of other countries, while our own farmers, manufacturers, engineers, and marketers remain jobless. I will stand my ground and maintain my position that under my watch, that old Nigeria is slowly but surely disappearing, and a new era is rising in which we grow what we eat and consume what we make. We will buy made in Nigeria. We will encourage garment manufacturing and Nigerian designers, tailors, and fashion retailers. We will patronize local entrepreneurs. We will promote the manufacturing powerhouses in Aba, Calabar, Kaduna, Kano, Lagos, Newi, Onitsha, and Ota. From light manufacturing to cement production and petrochemicals, our objective is to make Nigeria a new manufacturing hub.
The budget proposal of 7.298 trillion naira is a 20.4% increase from the 6.06 trillion naira budget of 2016. The president wants to see a more industrial and manufacturing nation. He mentions that a boost in agriculture is a fast basic input that can affect the economy positively.
Already, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the organized private sector, and a handful of Nigerian commercial banks have embarked on an ambitious private sector-led 600 billion program to push us towards self-sufficiency in 3 years for these products. I hereby make a special appeal to all state governors to make available land to potential farmers for the purpose of this program. To achieve self-sufficiency in food and other products, a lot of work needs to be done across the various value chains. For agriculture, inputs must be available and affordable. In the past, basic inputs like NPK fertilizer were imported, although the ingredients like urea and limestone are readily available locally. Our local blending plants have been abandoned, jobs lost, and families destroyed. I am pleased to announce today that on 2nd December 2016, Morocco and Nigeria signed an ambitious collaboration agreement to revive the abandoned Nigerian fertilizer blending plants. The agreement focuses on optimizing local materials while only importing items that are not available locally. This program has already commenced, and we expect that in the first quarter of 2017, it will create thousands of jobs and save Nigeria United States dollars 200 million of foreign exchange and over 60 billion naira in subsidy.